Hello again and welcome back to my garden here in sunny Hertfordshire. And wow, has it been sunny. I'm really not exaggerating for once. It's been so hot this week. It was 35 degrees here yesterday, which is 95 Fahrenheit. It's been really scorching. I absolutely hate the heat, so it's not good for me. But what I can say is all of my warmth-loving plants are absolutely kicking on. So my peppers, tomatoes, the exotic fruit that I have, that I'm going to show you in a second. Yeah, so much growth, and I'm looking forward to some really tasty harvests. On top of that, I've actually made a few changes to the garden that I'd like to update you on because it's been a while since I last filmed, but that means there's lots and lots for me to show you. So yeah, let's take a look at that. Now, if you're new to this channel, this here is basically my entire growing space. So it really isn't a big garden, but you'd be amazed at just how much fruit and veg I managed to cram in here. And I really hope that, you know, if you also have a really similar growing space like me, these videos will help to give you inspiration as to how you can use that space. Yeah, so very typically of a small garden, you can see here that I have got lots and lots of vertical growing space, and I have put in place a climber that I hope will eventually cover this fence here behind me, which is a kiwi plant. Yeah, so I am really very excited about this. I've got 3 kiwi berries on this plant here. I've got 2 there and then 1 hiding just round the back there. Now, I know you might be thinking that 3 berries doesn't sound like very much, but remember, I only put this in the ground last autumn and this plant is still quite small. So to already be having a harvest is quite impressive. I mean, a lot of fruit bushes and things like that actually take a few years to get going. So this is a really positive sign that it's going to be a really productive plant in the garden. From the research that I did, it seems like kiwi berries are probably a lot easier to grow than, you know, the traditional large fruits, particularly in a slightly cooler climate like the UK. But yeah, do check it out because if you like kiwis, why wouldn't you want to have this in your garden? I will of course be keeping you updated on this plant, and when they are ready to harvest, there will be an all-important taste test. These fruits are going to be a lot fresher than the ones you get in the supermarket. So if anything, they should be a lot tastier. But yeah, I absolutely can't wait to try them. So yeah, I did talk about this in my short from last week, but I know that a lot of the viewers that watch the shorts are not the same as watch the long form. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on that because yeah, I'm terribly excited about it. And I do want to get the word out there that you can absolutely grow kiwis in a milder climate. You don't have to be somewhere super hot. Here I am then next to 2 of the new additions in the garden. And I have to tell you, these are not exotic at all. So you might recognise these. These are thornless blackberries. And the reason why I've decided to grow thornless blackberries is because I've been trying to grow blueberries for many years now. And they're not very productive here. I can't grow them in the soil. I've got chalk soil. Blueberries need acid soil. So I've been having to grow them in pots and, you know, they've just not been doing very well. And this year I had 2 bushes left and one of them decided to give up the ghost, which meant that the other one wasn't going to fruit at all. And I just thought now is the time that I need to take them out and use the space for something more productive. And really, when you have a small garden, you do have to be, you know, you do have to be quite brutal like that. And yeah, just to prove that I have got rid of the blueberries, this is one that I have left. I think the other one's already in the compost bin. Which one is this? Aurora. Yep, Aurora. It's gone. Yeah, so that's all gone, and I'm really looking forward to having lots and lots of tasty blackberries in the future. Hello, Tilly. Say hello. Oh, say hello, Tilly. No, no, we don't want to say hello. No, she doesn't want to say hello. Well, we tried. Yeah, so I've got 2 different varieties of thornless blackberries that I'm growing here. I'm growing Waldo and Loch Ness. And the reason why I'm growing 2 varieties is not because you need them for fertility purposes or anything like that. It would be absolutely okay to just have one of these. The reason is that one of them, I can't remember which one, is going to start fruiting before the other. So I'm just extending the whole fruiting season. Now, the advice on growing blackberries in containers is that it's a really good idea to obviously buy a very large container. This is 45 litres, and you can see it's also very wide across. And yeah, at the moment, while the plants are so small, I thought it's a lot of wasted space. What can I pop in here to kind of make the best use of space, as space is at a premium? So I've actually planted some radish, and it's the first time I've grown radishes. And yeah, they seem to grow very easily. This is the variety Viola. And yeah, as you can probably imagine, the radishes from this are going to be purple and they're going to look really beautiful in things like salads and that. So I can't wait to harvest it, and I will obviously show you that on the channel. I was inspired to plant radishes because I went to my supermarket during the last heat wave and they didn't have a single radish in the whole shop. It's a very large superstore. And it just made me think, you know, I need to learn how to grow all of the things that I like to eat, because the supply chains are not what they once were, and I don't really see it getting any better. So it's a good idea to learn how to grow all the things that you like to eat. Assuming that you don't like to eat mangoes or something, because I don't think we're going to be able to grow mangoes in the UK. But yeah, they're looking really healthy, aren't they? And they do say that you can also eat the leaves, so I might try them too in a few salads. Yeah, so here then I have something new to show you. These are my latest attempt at growing carrots. And I know you're probably thinking carrots are really easy to grow. Yeah, they're not for me. The first time I tried to grow them last year, they didn't germinate in the soil that I have. So I decided to basically dig a trench this year, put some other compost down and try sowing the seeds in there. And you know what? I had fantastic germination, really fantastic. But yeah, the slugs came along and ate them all. So I don't have any anymore in the ground. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to try again. Third time, third time lucky. I'm going to try again in pots. And yeah, they've obviously germinated really well. That is not a carrot. I think that's probably a tomato. Let's get rid of that. Got a couple of things here that aren't carrots. But yeah, really hoping that I actually managed to get some carrots this year. This is the variety Nonce. In the other pot I have, they're just called large carrots. Literally the C packet just says large. But yeah, I'll be delighted if I do actually get some carrots to eat. And yeah, I do need to thin these out a little bit, don't I? Because they are a bit jammed in here. Hello, Tilly. Yeah, so it looks like Tilly has decided to get involved in the video again. She's sitting on my seat there, keeping an eye on the blackberry bushes. Tilly, you are adorable, but I really, really do need to sit on this seat. Oh my, this is sabotage, absolute sabotage. So for me, one of the ways that you know it's summer is when there is no room on the patio. Look at this, it is packed. I've got 5 tomato plants there and some mint plants further down, and then my 2 peppers. And yeah, look at this, so much growth going on. I have actually got some tomatoes coming. There you go, look. They're not ripened yet, but yeah, there's lots and lots of fruits on here. I'm going to have a really good harvest of tomatoes this year, I can see, because just look at all of these flowers. And this is just what I've got out here out the back. I've also got 4 out the front, remember. It's going to be a hell of a lot of tomatoes for for one woman, but yeah, I couldn't bring myself to throw them away because the plants were just looking so healthy. Look at this. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I do need to do a little bit of pruning on these. I saw that Down to Earth with Jim had a video on that, and I need to watch that video on how to best prune the tomatoes, because yeah, they've got a bit crazy in the heat. But yeah. Wow, there's so many fruits, so many fruits. I'm just delighted. I'm delighted at this. And yeah, I'm not sponsored by Vita Coco. Just trying to not take my eye out when I'm bending over and watering. As I say, I've got a collection of a few different types of mint plant. Yeah, so next time I'm in, I've also got my basil, and I've been having that on pasta dishes and pizzas and things like that. And yeah, here we go. Here are the 2 peppers, and they have really, really grown. They've grown so much in the heat, as you would expect. So this plant here has a lot of flowers on it, and I really hope that means that I'm going to get some fruits. Because if you don't know the story about these 2 peppers, these are volunteer plants. They literally germinated from something I threw away in the compost. And I don't even know if they're going to be chili peppers, sweet peppers, pointed peppers. I have no idea. And on top of that, you know, I'm pretty sure that they're not the same plant. they don't look the same at all. So I think they're going to be two different varieties, whatever they are. So I'm really excited, and the good thing with this heat is I do think that I am actually going to get to taste them, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. And yeah, I'll tell you something else. I'm getting the most amazing scent here next to all of these mint plants. Wow, absolutely gorgeous. Now in the beds themselves, some of the new plants are really kicking on. You can see here that my tromboncino, which is a type of squash, well, squash slash courgette, produces really lovely fruits. That's really starting to grow quite strongly now. It was a bit behind. They were a bit behind this year, but I'm confident that we're going to have plenty of time for them to fruit. Yeah, so next to my squash plant here, I have one of the perennial kale cuttings that I took. And as you can see, it's not looking very healthy at all. It's not slug damage. For a change, it is not slug damage. I think, looking at the leaves, there are these really horrible looking little brown, like mites. Yeah, if you know what that is, do let me know in the comments section, especially if you have any ideas on how I can get rid of them. Ugh. I mean, the good news is this is perennial kale, and normally it's quite tough, so hopefully it will survive. Yeah. And yeah, over here I've got one of my dwarf French beans. That's, yeah, it's looking healthy. Obviously it's still quite small, but be interesting to see how that does. It's the first time I'm trying to grow that. And yeah, I've got my lettuce. Now, there's a story about the lettuce. The lettuce that I tried to grow myself, guess what? It all got eaten by slugs. Yeah, seems to be a running theme in the garden this year. So these plants, I actually got them from the food section in Tesco. They're selling like lettuce with like roots attached. I guess so that they, you know, keep healthier for longer. So there's like the plant, and then there's like a small root ball, and like they put plastic around that to, yeah, to stop it from drying out. Yeah, so I keep finding these in the reduced section, and I think it's because they're probably a teeny bit more expensive, and maybe the average shopper doesn't really understand why you'd want to buy something with roots attached, like if you're not a gardener. But yeah, you can see that I basically eat the leaves, put the roots in the ground, and then it regrows. So yeah, so I don't really want to rely on these plants, although they have been good at filling a gap. You know, I'd much rather grow things from seed, because at least then I know exactly how they've been grown. I know there's no pesticides and things like that. So what I've done is I've sown some seeds today. I've decided to sow the red salad bowl. I tend to find that red plants are less attractive to slugs, particularly the red lettuce. If I plant red and green lettuce in the garden, it will be the green lettuce that that takes the hit. It's a bit of a shame because I prefer the green lettuce, but there we are. And yeah, look behind us here. Just seen something. I think that is one of my dwarf French beans flowering. Pretty flowers, aren't they? Lovely white flowers. Yeah, so here in this bed I've got quite a few garlic plants, so let's get pulling them out. I was a bit disappointed in the last video when I pulled out one of the garlics because the bulbs weren't very well formed. There weren't many clothes on there, so I thought it'd be best to leave them a little bit longer, but I think they're probably done now. Fingers crossed that, yeah, they're looking a bit bigger than they were before. There we go, there's one. I've got lots and lots to harvest here, so bear with me. Yeah, so what a garlic harvest, look at that. I'm so chuffed with this. I wasn't expecting to get quite so much garlic, if I'm honest, but yeah. That's going to see me in garlic for the rest of my life. And yeah, I've got another interruption by a cat. Wouldn't be my video if there weren't loads of interruptions by cats. Vinny is very much not my cat. He's about 3 times as big, but he spends his life in my garden, and he's the one that eats all of the nepeta. You'll probably see in the short I did where I showed me putting the hanging basket there to prevent him from eating all of it. Yeah, so you'll be pleased to hear, if you've been following this saga, that the nepeta is now above the hanging basket level. So yeah, this poor starving cat has been able to have some now. Bless you, Vinny. So yeah, let's see if he wants some. There we go. Oh, isn't it wonderful? You see, he really does love to tuck in. And this is why my Nepeta is so small. I saw a video by Dave Goulson, who is the wildlife insect expert, and do check out his channel if you haven't seen that. And he was talking about how Nepeta gets so big and it romps away. Not in my garden. In my garden, it is absolutely minuscule. Yeah, Vinny here is very much keeping it in check. Bless him. He's going to be here for hours, I'm telling you. So yeah, I'm going to go off now and have a cup of tea, or maybe several, because it's starting to get very hot here and I really can't hack it. Glad to say I think slightly cooler weather is coming next week. But yeah, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Whether this is the first time or you watch every single video of mine, I really, really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. And until next time, bye-bye.